All right. So we'll now start about today's topic. So today's topic is dimensions and role of time and space. So first is about something is what is dimension? Okay. Just for your understanding, I'm saying because dimension has been used many places in a different context. Okay. In spirituality or in the life in general, dimensions is different planes of existence which are operating at a different vibration levels. Okay, let me repeat. Dimensions are simultaneously existing, but their vibration levels are different. Whatever dimension we are operating, the physical dimension, in our physical reality, it has got a certain level of vibration, bandwidth. There are some above that, there are some below that. As their vibration wise, they're different. Unless until we go into that vibration, we cannot experience that. Let me give an example. You know, there is a lot of mobile call is happening. So a lot of signals and things is passing, but we cannot catch everything. All the signals we cannot hear. We need some certain kind of instrument, but if we go into that vibration, then we can decode, we can demodulate, and we make a sense of it. But normally we don't. It does not mean no communication is happening. I'm in the middle of thousands of communication happening between different parties through mobile, or maybe some TV station is sending some signal. It is received by that particular channel is being received, and so on and so forth. So it is foolish to think whatever I can see, I can feel, only that is the reality. But there are multiple things going on in our life also. In my this thing, suppose if I'm talking to something in my mobile, so then who is sending and who is receiving, it makes sense to me because it decoded and sent it to me. But this part, the signals are coming. But we cannot hear the signal as it is. Same thing here. The higher dimensions are simultaneously existing. But we cannot decode them because our vibration level is not equipped enough to do that. So suppose if you see that the bandwidth of a sound is at 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, normal sound, that we can hear. But that does not mean no sound can exist below or above that. Some sound maybe, 80 kilohertz or 100 kilohertz, we cannot hear it. But that does not mean that sound doesn't exist. And the same, the below that, below 20, something is 1 hertz. That is still a sound, but we cannot hear it. Again, it does not mean those sounds doesn't exist. We call it supersonic and subsonic. But those we can, if you have an instrument, you can actually listen to those sounds. Same with our visual bandwidth, VIBGYOR. If you see the electromagnetic wave spectrum, a very little spectrum we can see. And most of the things we cannot see. We call it ultraviolet or infrared. Whatever is beyond our control, we dump it into those two categories. But we cannot see. That is the truth. But if you see, sometimes some animals, the dogs, cats, their spectrum is wider. They can see. Some things we human being cannot see, they can see. Okay, I'm just giving you scientific understanding how it works. Somebody says, no, if I cannot see anything, if I cannot feel anything, I will not believe it. So you don't believe, it's fine. Your spectrum is limited. But you accept, even if you cannot see or feel in your five senses, it is only thing you accept that something can exist in a different vibration level. So 20 to 20 kilohertz frequency we are set or talking or making sound or music or whatever. If somebody is making some 20 megahertz to 20 gigahertz, that range, that will also be sound. We can never hear that. But that doesn't mean that some kind of communication is not possible at that level. Definitely possible. So make that understanding clear. It is only a different vibration level that we don't have any access to. Clear? Dimension?
Yes, sir.
Different planes of existence. It is simultaneously existing. Only the vibration level is different. If you can increase your vibration by any means, you'll be able to access that. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now another thing is called consciousness. Consciousness is the awareness of those dimensions. If we are conscious about only our physical reality, then it is called we are aware of in the five senses. But if somebody can access multiple dimensions, then we can call it multidimensional consciousness. Suppose you can access 2, 3. That is called multidimensional consciousness. If we can access all the dimension, that is called superconscious. And superconsciousness is a background of the creation. Superconsciousness is the attribute of the source, because it has got all spectrum, full range of the vibration level access. At per wish, the creator has created something in this dimension, something in that, something in there. And that we call it a different names. Something called, somebody sort of the Ashur Loka, Deva Loka, Gandharva Loka, and all these lokas. But these are all basically different vibration levels. The creator has access to everything. Okay, so concept-wise it is clear. What's the dimension? And I explain how this is possible to simultaneously exist.
No, sir.
Because
explain a little bit more about this consciousness, about these dimensions.
Sorry, your voice is breaking.
Can you explain a little bit more, Guruji, about this consciousness of these different dimensions? And
no, it is only the awareness of that dimension. Okay, let me put it in a different way. Suppose you never left your hometown. Suppose you live in Kolkata and you never leave Kolkata. So your awareness and understanding is limited to Kolkata. Suppose you travel to different parts of West Bengal and you know where the Bardhaman is, where the Shiliguri is, and the Malda is, and where Purulia is, and Bankura and all this, then your awareness has developed to all over West Bengal. Then you travel all over India. Differences you got to Chennai and Delhi and Mumbai, Bangalore and every places, Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Then you are aware of the India. Your spectrum is wider, including Kolkata. You are not leaving that. It's a part of that. Similar way, higher the level we go, there are 7 levels normally, 7 body system I explained. Higher the one you go, lower one is included into that. When West Bengal contain Kolkata, when you go to the India, it contains West Bengal and Kolkata. Then you go to Asia, Asia contains India and West Bengal and Kolkata, all below that. So as the consciousness level. Higher we go into the consciousness level, all the lower ones is already available.
Okay.
Okay, suppose yes, ask.
And Guruji, this conscious level, only during meditation we can go, like in meditation when you go for Shiva Bhakti state, but
Yes.
other times,
if you are enlightened, you can, because 24/7 you are connected.
okay.
That later on I'll explain. That's called unity consciousness. You are completely aligned with the super conscious.
Okay.
But you operate from the lower vibration, you cannot have access to the higher vibration. No?
Yes.
So sometime during 6-step meditation, you go there, you come back. Okay. First, let me explain. I will come back to that one. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this part is understood, no?
Yes, Guruji. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So now what happens is that every dimension has got their own characteristics, properties. So we talk about dimension. Okay, let me explain you about the dimension in the, the geometry, the mathematics, the geometry we learn. Then it will be easier to give a reference point. See, one-dimensional consciousness. In the geometry wise, if you like to correlate, it is a point. Basically, it has got a single, there is no dimension, singularity. Second dimensional experience is like a line. It can grow only one direction. It can be grow and smaller and all this. So you can have a feel of that, but in a linear fashion. Okay. Then when you get the third dimensional reality, then you can have an experience of volume. Length, width, height, all the considered together, they become a volume. Volume expansion, you can feel of a space. So third dimensional reality, you can experience space, physical space. Fourth dimension is time. Okay, you can have a sense of time like a flowing, going somewhere, traveling one place to another, shifting from here to there, all are related to time. Although time experiences come in the fourth dimension. And fourth dimension, mathematically also, time has been taken as a fourth dimension. And earlier I was, in our college days, I was worried about how come time became a fourth dimension. Then I'm just sharing a quick story. So then I found out some way of understanding it. See, what happens is any line can be drawn. Even the three-dimensional line can be drawn in the coordinates, we call it. Who knows mathematics, they know how to do it. There is an equation. So each equation represents one line. It can be two-dimensional or three-dimensional, X, Y, Z, some expression. So suppose there are two lines represented by two different equations. So in a blackboard, I have drawn that line. Say it is a two-dimensional X, Y. 3x plus 2y is equal to 5. This is one. Another one maybe x plus minus 4y is equal to 6. Something like that. So if I draw that one line, and then oh, by the way, how we can find out the intersection of two lines by solving the equations. That whoever has done the basic mathematics, they know that. In the school they teach, and the higher secondary also. So if you solve these two equations, x and y value will give you the intersection point where the two lines actually crossed each other. Now, suppose the first equation, I draw one line on the blackboard. Suppose it is in the college days, we have to have a blackboard with a, what is called that, the small boxes also. What is they call? Graphic board sort of thing, small box type of thing. So anybody teacher here, you can tell me what is the right word for that. Some blackboard has already drawn lines so that you can draw the graphs and things like that on the blackboard.
Yes, sir. Graphics board is fine. We also call it that.
Oh, okay, all right. So in the graphic board, you have drawn the axis and drawn that line as per the equation. Then you erased it with a duster and then drawn the another line as per the second equation. Now, if you solve these two equations, there will be some intersection point. Okay, there will be say something, some 3,7 is the intersection point of that two lines. But in the physical reality, they didn't meet. The first line I have drawn and erased and then drawn the second line. So physically, they didn't meet, these two lines on the board. So they are supposed to meet. Why they didn't meet? Because of the fourth dimension, which is time. They should simultaneously occur. Then only they will meet. If they are difference in time, they will not meet. That is my college time research I found out over the fourth dimension. How come it is another dimension? Because of that. Theoretically, they should meet, but physically they didn't meet because they are occurred in a different time scale. That's why they didn't meet. Okay, means my grandfather could not meet my daughter because they occurred at a different time scale. Before someone's birth, someone has died. But in my memory, both are present. Isn't it? I'm related to both of them. Both are my relations. But physically, they never meet because their timelines are different. They differ by the fourth dimension. But in my memory, my system, they simultaneously occur. I can think of my grandfather and my daughter at the same time. So I am the link. Okay, this understanding is important. That's what I'm giving this kind of examples. Okay. So in other words, in physical reality, time exists. That's why my grandfather and my daughter could not meet. But in my mind, they can meet. In my dream, they can meet. Because these are the instruments I have, which is beyond time. It does not follow the rules and regulations of time. If I think of playing with a dinosaur, I go millions of years back instantly. I don't need to travel and set on time. If I wanted to think of the planet Jupiter, instantly, I can reach there through my thought. Okay. Like that. So I do have an instrument which is beyond time, which is my thought. Okay, so we understand how it operates, and that's why it is beyond time. So let me come in the fifth dimension. So I already told about the fourth. point, then line idea, then the volume idea, then the time idea. Fifth one is awareness of self. Awareness of self, or in general, let me use word awareness only. The awareness of the truth, it is not in the physical dimension. It is beyond time as well. Beyond time and space. Like I said, dinosaur example, it goes millions of years back instantly. Like I go to Jupiter, millions of kilometers traveled in an instant, right? I can think of Jupiter, I'm standing on a Jupiter. Instantly, no? That's all possible. Instantly it goes. These are the characteristics of the fifth dimension. The awareness can travel anywhere. In fact, it doesn't travel, it holds. It is a background. So that is the fifth dimension, what we are talking about, where time and space get dissolved. As I said, I can go anytime, instantly, anywhere. Past, present, future, instantly. Any kind of distance. If I think of just now going, sitting on the top of Eiffel Tower, I can do instantly. No, nobody can say it doesn't need a air ticket and visa and so on and so forth. It's all possible. No, we do have instrument. I'm just giving examples so that you understand how spirituality works, how higher dimensional experiences can happen. So these instruments we already have. I have given example of thought because this is the lowest level possible example I can give. Thought and your dreams. And exactly here, when some scientists, I have shared my story earlier, they challenged me that they said all the spiritual things are illusion. Basically, they are blaming me. You have drugged yourself, and that illusion you are coming and telling as your experience of spiritual experiences. I said, forget about me. Okay, don't bother. Whether somebody has been ganja pike aaye hain kya nahi, doesn't matter. Tell me, I said, in the full of scientists in the Jupiter Hospital, Thane, in 2015, I said, raise your hand to whom you have dreamt last night. Last night when you go for sleep, how many of you dream anything? I'm not talking about explain you what is the dream. Everybody raised their hand. I said, you are on professional doctors, means PhD in medical. I said, can you just do a simple thing? You record whatever you have dreamt and show me next day in a video, in a laptop. Okay, this is what I dreamt. You record the scenario, show me like a TV or cinema screen sort of things. Can you do that? He said, no, how can it possible? I said, exactly, that is my question. It is the truth, no, you dreamt. But the dreams are in a different dimension. That's why you cannot record and some experience in some dimension with a three-dimensional instrument. Exactly, that is the point. Open the possibility. Maybe someday you will invent that instrument. Similarly, spiritual experience, maybe in future it is possible to record, but don't deny that they don't exist. You don't experience, that does not mean it doesn't exist. That's what I have given an example, which all of you experienced. But science is not good enough to capture that. So far. Then they understood. It is not ganja pike some story. It is everybody. Without ganja also they have some experience. They cannot record. They cannot have they capture it in 5 senses. Okay, so because they were talking about WHO guideline about the repeatability and all that. Can you repeat your dream? Can you replay your dream, what you had last night, this night also? So where the repeatability has gone then? Where is repeatability as per WHO? You are experiencing directly, but you have no means to do that. Anyway, so I made my point. So they said you just be open to these possibilities. Don't deny. Because if you deny, you stop all the future possibilities. It's called neotic science. There are a lot of masters, they are also going to make it available and make all these things scientific through results. Not by instruments and measuring, because there is no instrument which can measure. Okay, so that is about some different dimensions. Now let me come to the last point about why there was a need to create space and time. See, this fifth dimensional and above, the higher dimensions, because we are created by the source, which is a universal consciousness. It is coming from the superconscious state. It wants to experience itself in an infinite ways. So that's why the soul has been created. Soul path, I have already told those stories. And to have experience, they need to disconnect from the original thing. And that also I explained by the Maya. The topic of, if you can search our previous this learning sessions, one of them will be Maya, the curtain between the unity consciousness and the duality consciousness. Now I'm explaining what is that. Unity consciousness is merged with the source. It has access to everything. That is the experience of oneness. But whoever has wanted to experience something, so experience grief and loss and think whatever it is, if you all the time you know who you are, you will not have that experience. Like if you know all the story of the movie, then you will not have an experience of enjoying the movie. Or maybe some cricket match. If you know the results from the beginning, what will happen, when, who will be out, and how many runs they will score, you will not enjoy the match. So it is important to disconnect that. To knowing everything, part need to be disconnected. Otherwise, you will not have the experience. And that is how human beings are created. They are disconnected from the source. Whoever gone disconnected from the source, they are into the duality consciousness. They are two. They feel that we and the source are different. And it is created by design. To have the experience. And to have the experience, you need a screen. The whole life journey, the plan is there. The creator has created everything. It is like a CD given to you. But to enjoy the movie, you need to play. Na? Two things you need to play the CD. Suppose one movie you need to play, two things you need. One is a screen to watch. And secondly, there'll be time. Like a movie should start at a certain time and move ahead with the storyline and finish at a certain time. Unless until you have that time, you will not be able to enjoy the movie. Same here. The human being, we came with that CD, which is a plan. So when it is played, for that you need the space. And that is our physical reality on earth. And that is the time. Starting time, the birth, then different age, and then we die, and then we next life, and so on and so forth. Different episodes of the movie. One fine thing, the movie ends and you go back to the original source. You take out the CD from the CD player or whatever it is. So the time and space has been created so that we can get experience in the physical reality. In higher dimensions, there is no such thing. Experience is only through awareness. It does not need the point and line and the volume and the length, width, and all this kind of stuff. So you don't need a screen and don't need time. In fact, everything is accessible instantly, like your thought. Like with the thought, you can go to the millions of years with the dinosaur. With the thought, you can go millions of kilometers on Jupiter instantly. Means there is no restriction of time, and then no restriction of the distance either. Okay, so if you operate that, it is called unity consciousness. You are in the oneness, so you operate in that level. So whenever you need to experience something, you create physical reality and you experience that, time and space. Otherwise, there is no need. You are aware. So awareness does not need time and space. But experience without awareness needs all this background. When you self-realized, you are fully aware, you are awakened, you are enlightened, you don't need time and space. You are already gone beyond that. And that is why at the time of enlightenment, all your past parts and everything has been presented to you. Like the full CD is available. It is truth that everything is in eternal now, they call it. Eternal now. And all the time in now. How it is possible? Because it is only in a CD. All the life stories are in the CD at the moment. Whole movie is in the CD right now. That is the truth. Only thing, when you play, then you need a time and the screen. If you're not playing, or even if you are playing, still the CD contains everything. You can go fast forward, back one, or whatever you want. You can play with the time. And same where it operates, when we go into the higher dimension, we can have access to each and every point. At our will, we can go to any point. We can go to any past lives, their experiences, we can do that. Everything is there in the CD. So that's how it works. And that is why that I am giving the nearby example. So the duality consciousness is always having this thing called good and bad, polar opposites. Because that is how it is designed. You cannot experience light unless until you don't know what the darkness is. No painting is possible if all colors in the world are white. So in that sense, impurity is needed to make it dramatic, to make it kahani mein twist. Otherwise, there will be no twist, nothing. No? You need to experience those. Pure, if everything is pure, creation is not possible. Creation always means some kind of drama or some polar opposites. And if you see that today's topic, when I posted that I have given the symbol of what is called Yananing, and what is this called? Anyway, that symbol, no, that black and white, that white contains the black core and black contains white core, and they are interrelated and linked, and that creates the drama. So what is this symbol is called? Feng Shui, or no? Feng Shui is
Guruji.
Yeah, yang and yin, yeah. So anyway, this is the polar opposites, but what I'm saying is that creates the drama. You know, to have a effect of sound, we need to pause in between sometime. Otherwise, there will be no music. If one particular sound is constantly playing, that is not a music. Music is play about different frequencies, different sounds, and pauses, and how much pause it is given, and all these things like that. It is called the same music played by a normal people and a maestro. The difference is the maestro, the master, knows exactly how much pause to be given. Only the managing the pause It makes the difference between a novice and the master. He just knows because he knows the effect of that sound, how much it holds. So he only that much pause. So changing the pause inside a music makes it dramatic. So anyway, so this is all the game of that to make it happen. And same here. Where also is a play of time and space, how to make it dramatic.
Hey, Rajdeep.
Yes, Nemo?
Yeah, it's yin and yang.
Yeah,
And yin is black.
yeah.
So yeah, and the yang is white part.
Yeah, it's just a representation,
Right.
it is a representation of polar opposites. That's what I'm just coming
Yeah,
to
yeah.
that.
Right.
Mm.
The Chinese
Yeah,
name
so-
is yin and yang. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, yin and yang, and that is a symbol, but that represents the play of things. Like you can say it is a light and darkness, good and bad, the devil and God, and things like that.
Yeah,
Okay,
any
so
on opposing character. Yeah.
yes, because these are played in the third dimensional reality. Okay, in higher dimension, like at the soul level, there is no duality. There is no good and bad. Everything is like an experience. This is a different experience of getting. So there is no good and bad. So when they elevate that level, then it becomes an experience. Life becomes an experience, which is the actual right understanding of life. There is no good and bad things. Only it comprises of different vibrations. Some lower vibrations activity, I already told that about the dimension. Lower vibration activities we don't like, and higher vibration activities we like. Okay, so from there the good and bad thing came. But from independent point of view, it is all the game of the vibration. Okay, it is all about light and absence of light. Okay, so this is about that. So if there is any question, I will answer that. So if you have any question, please unmute, and then we can. No question?
Sir, I don't have. Okay, please. Sir, I don't have question right now. This
Okay.
was this was quite heavy knowledge, and that also explained with simple examples. Thank you for that. And that geometry example was outstanding. So, sir, I wanted to say, share just this feeling that people talk about, wow, I will buy this and I will buy this and will be very happy. But nowadays, after getting in touch with you and having gone through certain books, I always feel that how it will be 24/7 connected with divine feeling. Nothing can be above that. So that I wanted to say.
Good, because you don't need anything from outside.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. Only you need to know how to connect with your internal source, the powerhouse that you already have. Only we don't have the connection, because the connection, as I explained earlier, it is cut by design, because you will not have experience otherwise. But once you have enough of experience, claim all your power back so that you elevate from that so-called mundane activities of life. It will not go. Activities will not go. You still be doing activities. In the Zen concept, this before enlightenment, where chopping wood and carrying water, and after enlightenment, chopping wood and carrying water. Means basically they're saying your external life will not change. Okay, but you are now operating through awareness. That is the only difference will happen. The light of awareness will come, and that is the enlightenment is all about. And you are connected with the infinite source of the joy. So you will be always internally joyful no matter what happens. Okay.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, Nupam.
See, in the higher dimension, there is no there is no polarity. So there is no drama also in that case.
There is no drama, only experiences.
So it will be very dull sort of thing. Our understanding.
No. In your understanding, it will be dull. Means, let me put it in this way: if you are put it into some kind of whatever 5-star hotel, and you have unlimited credit card, you can buy anything, eat anything, and go to spa and go to gym or swimming pool or whatever, go to the music, listen to music in the evening, best performance, whatever, every day. After 1 month, you will be like a mad trying to run out of that hotel, It is having everything is too much of boredom there. And I call it when the creator created the universe. So fundamental question is, where was the need to create this?
Yeah.
There was no need. But my understanding is he was getting bored. He means just I am personifying. There is no he or she. He was getting bored because unlimited power, unlimited joy, unlimited. By willpower, you can create anything. Just by wish. So he was getting bored. He needed drama in his life. And his drama with infinite power will be infinitely diversified drama. So he created infinite souls and given infinite path to trace, and so that he can get all infinite experiences. That's how it all started. Where there is need, there is no need. That's why it is called Leela, game. It's all of a game. We are the pawn, at the same time we are the player. If you look at from the fraction point of view, part point of view, we are the pawn. When from the source point of view, we are the player. That is the oneness.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, all right.
Pranam, sir.
Guruji,
Yes. One moment, Chaitali. Manav, go ahead.
Sir, first of all, I would say that I'm very thankful to you and very blessed that you have provided this an extraordinary platform where we all are gradually getting connected to our inner self. Sir, I'm very thankful for that, sir. And I was also, I was a problem that if anyone was telling me anything, though they are not very close to me or very, the person don't have so much impact on me, but they were telling me anything, then I was also very getting affected, like why they said that, this to me, and why what I have to do now. There a lot of questions were coming to mind. So as it was the first session for me, and I got to know the answer of the awareness is the solution of this thing, solution of these types of problems, sir. So I'm very thankful for that, sir.
God bless you. I'm just agent, by the way, so I cannot take any credit. It's all coming from Babaji. But this is for the purpose of understanding, to help humanity to be growing in awareness. Yes. Okay, so that is the key. And thank you for sharing your view. Yes, Chaitali. Yes,
Guruji, you told that we can throw our negativity through that anti-clockwise circle and cut it from the diameter. So how can we?
One moment. I didn't say you throw your negativity by that.
Okay.
You get disconnected from others throwing negativity at you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So how can we disconnect ourselves from tension and anxiety?
That is a mind control. That is the first point what I discussed.
Okay.
Your tension, anxiety, everything happens because your uncontrollable thoughts, particularly negative thoughts. And it is not possible to replace negative thoughts into positive thoughts. People tried that, but they all failed. Positive reinforcement, positive thinking, and all this never worked. It will not work because you cannot take one part of the polarity and leave the other. Like a magnet, if you break a magnet to take the North Pole, reject the South Pole, another magnet will be developed there. South Pole will develop. So it is not possible. The way to go beyond that is to drop both. You become neutral, and that is the spiritual level. That is from duality to unity, consciousness.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So that's why you need to drop the thoughts. Because as long as thought is there, you have duality experience, positive or negative. You cannot take only positive, leave the negative. Not possible. So you have to drop both, go beyond that. That state of mind is called equanimity. Equanimity means both in the joy, both in the happiness and sorrow, you are the same state. It doesn't affect you anymore.
Okay.
Okay, so main key is control over the thought. For that, what is the basic? We started student discussion, raise your vibration and do meditation.
Okay.
If there is no thought, so let me put it in this way. When, suppose when you are sleeping, are you anxious or upset? Because your mind is not working. I mean, normal way it is not working. Okay, so some people go into the other extreme. They change the mind by some chemical. They were dependent on alcohol or drug or thing like that. What they did, actual reality is not changing. Practically it is not changing. They are changing their mind, their experience. They're numbing their nerve so that they are not, the pain doesn't be so much experience that they are getting. That's what they're trying to do. Okay, so, but what I'm saying is there is no need for all those things. Hiding away, running away from it. You learn how to stop thinking, that's it. Everything will solve by itself. But to get control of your mind, don't be slave of your mind, try to be master of your mind. That is the only thing which you learn. Sadhana, spiritual practice is all about how to stop your thinking mind. That is the only thing you have to learn. If you hold the mind thoughtless for 45 minutes, you get enlightened. Broadband connection. But stopping the mind is that. Okay. If somebody says that I can stop my thinking mind, okay. If you do that, you don't need anything. No kriya, no meditation. You are there. You are a master. Nothing can touch you. You are anxious, stop your mind. No anxiety. As simple as that. Okay. All right.
Guruji, I have a question in this relation, that seeing the suffering of my near ones, the physical pain of my near ones, I can stop my mind that if I can think that it's a experience, but for my near ones, how it will help? I mean, you know what I mean by this question.
You do whatever best you can do, and rest you leave it to the divine. You are not responsible for others. Don't play God. You are not God. Accept that. I am not God. I cannot do everything. In somebody suffering illness, I have no power to do it right away. I am not God. Accept that. Do your best and leave it to the divine to take care of it. Pray. That's it. Make it simple. Your feeling is very genuine, but what you need to do, that sometimes we go overboard. We idealize ourselves.
Yes, Guruji.
Don't go that. You don't have that power.
Yes.
You are not God. We accept that. I'm not God. I pray. I have no power to implement that, to manifest that. I can only pray, do that. So your side, you have done your bit, and that's it. Okay. All right.
Rajiv, I have one question. I'll take a very short time.
No problem. Go ahead, Sharmishta.
I don't know how to put it in words, but I'll still try. I had an understanding that you were saying if you are connected to yourself, then you will not need any what do you call it? Any like outside things to help you, right? Like shopping.
Your higher self, yes. Your soul consciousness, higher self.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But I have noticed myself that I enjoy both. I feel that I am also connected to myself and I'm enjoying spiritual journey and everything. But at the same time, I also like all live dramas and splurging in shopping, and I don't want to be like God all the time. So I have both in me. So what kind of state is that? Like a dual something?
No. What kind of God? That 5-star hotel 24/7 type of God, or just poverty and doing nothing? All right. See, that is what we came here to experience. I am not saying that any kind of so-called sacrifice is godly. In fact, the contrary. Just Nirupam asked one question. I think 2 days back, I explained that it is a completely misunderstanding that sacrificing something is spiritual. It is just the other way around. Experience and enjoy everything. In fact, when we experience on the higher level of awareness that our life transforms itself, we call it Jivan Madhurya, the honey of the life, the nectar of life we can experience. But we are so engrossed in the lower level, the tu me, then we cannot experience that. Okay, so that is the thing. So my advice is enjoy everything. Why not?
Okay.
Enjoy life, enjoy whatever has been offered, the food and all this music, everything, what has life has to offer, sacrificing, limiting yourself or intentionally stopping yourself to do that, it is not spiritual. And particularly we are following householder spirituality. Both are the arms, both are the wings of the same bird. Spirituality and materialistic thing, both can take us up. If you cut one wing, you will not be able to fly.
Okay.
Okay, it should be equally strengthened. So that is what we are trying to convey. Not sacrificing anything. Of course, we only say that do it in the what is called so that no harm is there to anyone else. Earlier, I was giving example. What is the difference between enjoying or having fun or not and affecting somebody else? Like, suppose somebody walking on the road and there is a pothole and he slipped his leg. Or maybe some banana peel is there, he slipped. So you thought it is funny and you laughed. This is harmless. Okay. But another position, somebody is walking and you pushed somebody into a ditch and then say, ha, 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 ha. The second one is not funny. Something has happened without your intervention and you consider it is funny, it's okay. But second one is not. So enjoy life without harm to anyone. And how to know without harm to anyone? That comes with the awareness. Like if I touch electrical socket, whether I'll get some child can get electric shock because child doesn't know there is electricity there. Only awareness can stop me in touching that. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, God bless you.